to all of you. Welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina. I am Adina, and welcome to my channel. I am your resident hostess with the mostest, as well as your resident oracle, medium, woo lady, wise woman, seer, prophetess, priestess, witch, necromancer, and all of those things that you guys like to call us throughout the ages. And I do those things around here. So I understand if it's not for you, I just invite you to leave just as peacefully and quietly as you have come, so that you don't disturb my community or the flow of the spirit around here. And if that is your kind of thing or you're just curious, I welcome you to stay. We are a friendly bunch, unless you are not. So, with that being said, welcome to all of my regular viewers, subscribers, busted babies, bush watchers, return viewers, all of that. Welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina. Please let me know how you're doing as you come into the chat, into the live. I like to check up on you, so let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your day is going before we begin. Okay. I don't see anyone joining me. Is YouTube giving me a slow start tonight? Oh, hey, Sissy. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Yes, everybody come on in. Hey, Kitana. How are you doing today? Happy Wednesday, ladies. Let me take a sip of this. I'm doing well. Please, nobody pay attention to my nails. I just did a fill in and I haven't even filed them or anything yet. I feel like I still got acrylic on my hands. Anyways, you guys come on in. I made me a cocktail so that we can have a time. You guys ready to have a time? Shall we begin our current events Wednesday? I think we shall. All right, so if you didn't get a chance to see the thumbnail, hey, Christina. Around here on Beyond the Veil, it is current events Wednesday. So that is the day I set aside to talk about some of the things going on in the headlines. And I feel like I picked two that are um, current events, and then one that I just was curious about. I told my members last night or the night before live that I was going to do a reading on Ari just because I'm not a follower of her, but I see her posted in the blogs and stuff. And so lately, I feel as though something's been off with her. And so I just thought, well, I don't think I've only read her but one time here, but I'm actually curious about what might or might not be going on with her. So that's why I threw her in here. But obviously, you guys know about, I guess, the number one trending topic besides Iran in entertainment news. It is off, Offset from the Migos, and who's also the father of three of Cardi B's children, got shot. Okay, down to the Hard Rock Casino in Hollywood, Florida, not LA, California, Hollywood, Florida. Now, as a Floridian, as someone who has lived in Fort Lauderdale, has worked in Fort Lauderdale, I've lived in Plantation, I've lived in Hallandale, and I have worked in Hollywood, and I've been to the Hard Rock many times. I will say that there are a lot of people in there who are addicted to gambling. I mean, not everybody that's in there is addicted, but honey, it's like if you just randomly go twice a month, you're guaranteed to see some of the same faces and some of the same spots as if they've never left. And my heart goes out to anyone struggling with any kind of addiction. Not saying that Offset is, but it's been rumored and alleged that he does struggle with some sort of gambling addiction. My heart goes out to everybody who struggles with it or with any type of addiction, because I know you guys go through waves of trying to quit, but then you get that itch and you start going through withdrawal and you need that fix. And then it's just like a never ending cycle until it ends up in a bad situation like this one for Offset. So we're going to start with him. I am just going to take a look and see what's going on with Offset after I take a sip of this Hennessy, Saint Germain, and strawberry lemonade. What y'all drinking? Water? Y'all drinking water tonight? It's 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so cheers. Okay. All right. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this Wednesday, this day of Mercury. I woke up fully believing it was Thursday. I was so ready to have a great, prosperous Thursday. I actually found out it was Wednesday like an hour and a half ago. So happy Wednesday. Happy day of Mercury. Thank you for YouTube for being such a gracious platform and allowing me to shenanigan with my shenana friends. And thank you for Offset and his life being spared. Thank you for him being able to heal and make a recovery instead of him being in the same predicament as his friend and bandmate, um, Takeoff. I think that's his name. All right. Most High, Mother, and Father God. I actually want to start with an oracle for Offset, just one. Because if it's true that Offset has a gambling addiction, like I mentioned, people usually go through that cycle with addictions of the rinse, wash, and repeat, trying to stop, wishing you can stop, saying you're going to stop, believing you're going to stop, doing it again, rinse, wash, and repeat until something drastic happens. My uncle, I don't have a favorite uncle. I was just about to say my favorite, but all of my uncles are my favorites. So my mom's brother, he he was struggling with drugs for 30 years and I'm 38. And so that's a long time. And only in the past, I will say, was it been 3 years now? Has he been completely clean? But that's only because he was dying. His heart is currently at 15% and he has a thing in his chest to help him stay alive, but that is the only thing that brought him off crack. The only thing. So Offset, I'm wondering if this is the thing for you that will help you to go in the house and sit down with your kids. All right. Spirit, thank you again for Offset's life being spared. I don't know this young man, but thank you for an opportunity to live for this young man, to see another day for his children, if for nothing else. Spirit, may I have one card through the oracles as a divine message for Offset, as if he were sitting in front of me getting a consultation, as if he were one of my clients. We'll just pretend, Spirit, because that's what we're doing here today, anyways, right? Spirit, please deliver me a message for Offset's highest good through the oracles from the divine. Yeah. All right, Offset. Conclusions are within reach, but in reverse. So, obviously, this was a situation that took place with the young man named Lil TJ. I don't know if that man shot him or who exactly was the shooter, but there was an altercation between Offset and some other guy named Lil TJ, and allegedly Offset owed Lil TJ $10,000 from a previous gambling debt. I believe he loaned Offset 10 bands before, and Offset has been ducking and dodging. And it seems that they met up in the same place at the wrong time tonight. So that's why conclusions are within reach. It's been said that Offset told that man that if he wanted his 10 bands back, he was going to have to get it back in blood. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the blogs and stuff say. So, this is something that was like a situation that had reached its boiling point. It was something that wasn't undone. And also, since conclusions are within reach is in reverse, I hope this is a Sagittarius card. Look at the bigger picture, and you're a Sagittarius, Offset. Full moon and Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture, Offset. The card on the bottom is actually the best for you, but the card on the top is saying, listen, this could have went left. This could have went the takeoff route. And you know Debo wanted his money. I mean, Big Worm wanted his money. So I don't know why you was playing around because everybody ain't playing, Smokey. That man ain't playing about his money. And so now, since your life is spared, the divine is saying this is an opportunity, Sagittarius man, as this is the culmination, hopefully. Let this be the culmination, full moon and Sagittarius, of this situation, meaning no get back, no lick back, because this could have been avoided on your part, Offset. And I know you got $10,000. So you could have given that man his money because in good faith he gave it to you and he didn't have to. So let this be an opportunity to make permanent changes. Look at the bigger picture. You have a whole bunch of kids. So you got a lot of people to look for and live for. In my opinion, not your career, not anything else, but that gaggle of children that you have is the bigger picture for you. So consider them, if nothing else. And remember what happened to Takeoff. This is almost like the divine almost saying, "Hey, Offset, don't do this because this definitely remember, hey, remember." So now let's just take a look and see what's going on with Offset. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of, is his name Kiari Cephas, maybe? Offset, if his name is Kiari or something like that. Spirit, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of the rapper, the young man from the Migos who goes by Offset, but I think his name might be Kiari. Hey, Liv. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everyone else that's joining me that's not vocalizing themselves or expressing themselves in the chat. Happy Wednesday to you. Offset, talk to me, or Spirit, please allow me to speak to the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Offset. Please compel him to speak his spirit and soul's truth, keeping absolutely nothing hidden from me, not even that which he wants to keep hidden from himself. Offset, I see red all around him, and not because I'm wearing red, like blood red, like all around him. Um, you got a lot of vices, Offset. And you were photoed outside of the hospital in a wheelchair in a hospital gown smoking a cigarette. Now, no judgment, but look at the bigger picture. Please just fob some weed, but put the poke down. All right. At least while you're in the hospital. That can't be healthy while you're in the hospital with a fresh bullet wound or graze, whatever it did to you, because you look pretty healthy. They say you got shot in your rump roast, but you and your people said, no, I did not get shot in my rump roast. It is wholly full. It ain't nothing. It ain't no holes in there except for the one that was created in the rump roast when it was rumped. Anyways, So good thing that you don't seem to have gotten shot anywhere vital. So who put out that rumor anyways that he got shot in his butt? Because why would y'all do that? Y'all heard Offset got shot in the ass? Listen, black people, boy, y'all some telephone playing people. It went from Offset got shot to Offset got shot in the act. How did y'all get there? Maybe he did though. Maybe they saying that he didn't because who would know other than the people closest to him who probably wouldn't tell. So, nevertheless, the man got shot. It doesn't matter where. Offset, talk to me about what's going on in your life currently. I know that you're in the hospital, but allow me to see the energies impacting, surrounding, and influencing you from your spirit and soul's perspective. What's next for you? Are you going to walk the straight and narrow? That's really what I would like to know. Are you going to walk the straight and narrow from now on and kind of just be a good house dad while Cardi B's out working? Are you just going to be a good house dad? Because I think that would be great for you. You seem like you're great with kids. And just be a good house dad. Find somebody little league team to coach. And you know what I'm saying? Do it for and sell weed on the side like all the other field rappers and dope boys. They start coaching a little league team or they sponsor one and coach it. They sell weed and they be having a lot of kids and they be good with the kids. Like my weed man. I think he got 10 or 11 kids. He coached a little league team. They good too. They bad as hell. They bad bad. They don't never lose. Country kids, boy. And he's and they gonna be selling barbecue this weekend at AutoZone to raise money for the little league team. And I'm gonna go up there and get a slab for $25 to support the kids. So I've said do that. Just do that. You know the coaches of the little league teams get all the bitches. Cause you're not rapping like that no more. But if you coach, they get all the bitches. I ain't never been with no coach because that's too cliche for me. And they be handsome. But I know that all the mamas of the boys on their team, they running through them. So I can't actually take that back. Andrew, my ex-business partner, he also coached high school football. But that don't count. Offset, since she probably won't hear my advice to take it, what's going on currently with you and what's next? I hope the beef's over. Is the beef over? Is there going to be any retaliation, at least from your part? What is this? Offset. Now y'all know. Oh, Liv, you in the UK, so you probably don't know. Hell yeah! Listen, all the little league coaches be running through all the mamas. You ain't no Liv, girl, yeah. Yeah, girl. But the coaches be fine though, because like that's the other career for the ex drug dealers. Like I tell my members, all the ex drug dealers in my town or the failed drug dealers, they got lawn services and they say lawn business. And the other half of them, they coach and they look good. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the coaches always seem to be handsome, but they definitely be running through the mamas. They be running through them. I've seen fights and brawls happen at the games because the mamas couldn't. Child, the mamas meet up, and they be on site. What? That's why the dudes sign up for the job. It ain't because they just love kids. It's because, anyways, I'm convinced that's why y'all sign up for that job. And with the hope that one of those little boys that y'all coach make it to the NFL and y'all could kind of be the mentor in their life so they look out. Anyways, the chariot. This is an interesting card to have for Offset. Is it because he's in a wheelchair currently? So maybe, just maybe, Wherever he was shot doesn't allow him to walk right now, at least not comfortably. Not like he's paralyzed, because then I don't think he's paralyzed, but wherever he was shot, I believe it was in the lower region, at least from the waist down somewhere, which causes him to have difficulties or challenges walking. So he has to get around in his chariot and his. Where is your scooter? Offset. Where is your scooter? He's in it, smoking a Newport outside of the hospital. So that's that. I don't know if it's in the rump roast, but whatever it is, these are his legs. This is him sitting in a wheelchair. The only part we really can't see it, from the waist down. We can't see nothing from the waist down. So wherever he got shot, maybe somewhere in this. What if he got shot in the nuts? That'd be a shame because this is the medical, the cataceus right here. So wherever it was from the waist down. That's for sure. In the thumbnail that I posted, it's a picture of him sitting in a wheelchair outside of the hospital in a gown, smoking a cigarette. So yeah, he was at least in one in the pictures that they take. But this tells me wherever he was shot, it gives him maybe some difficulties walking and getting around on his own. Sissy, I don't know if it was the booty, but maybe the waist down is all I can say in my professional entertainmently opinion, allegedly. Challenging. It could have been worse. Now, wherever you were shot, it could have been somewhere in the back. So, in my opinion, it was somewhere from the waist down, and the bullet went into the back of his body. So, I don't know if it was the butt, but the problem is it could have paralyzed him because this is the spinal column here with all these swords that we see. So, I think the challenge is wherever he got shot, it could have or was close to his spinal column and hitting something that could have made him wheelchair bound permanently. I got a little cousin that got shot. I'm trying to help one of his friends who was fighting, and they bop, 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 lit off rounds, and my little cousin got hit, and he's paralyzed. So he in a chair, and he's so handsome and talented, but he's in a chair. Shout out to Lamarcus, paralyzed because they shot him in the back. Call his mama, my cousin Cookie. Shout out to Cookie. Called her and was just screaming and hollering, saying he got shot and he couldn't feel nothing. Couldn't feel his legs. What's so sad is that my cousin Cookie, lost her firstborn son living in Detroit. He spent the night across the street at his little friend house, literally across the street. And somebody in that house had beef with somebody in a gang, and they came and threw a homemade bomb cocktail in that house, and it burned down while my cousin's standing in front of it with her husband holding her back from running in there. And my her son was the only one that passed away. So, Offset, um, your spinal column was in jeopardy. So I hope to see you outside of that wheelchair. If this were the outcome, then I would say you would be permanently paralyzed. But this is just saying it could have been a situation where it paralyzed you because you got shot somewhere below the waistline, but in your back. So that could have killed you, and if not, paralyzed you permanently. Yeah, shout out to Lamarcus and Cookie. They some real G's, some OGs. Okay, OGs. Cookie and all her kids is with that. Really, really, really with that. Mm-mm. I've seen Cookie destroy men, women, her husband, anybody. I seen her throw him through a listen. Two of the times she been to jail out of the several times her husband called the police on her because his life was in danger. Boy, if she get hold of you, boy, boy, you might as well just pass out. 'cause she got a nice heart, and if you pass out, she gon' feel compassionate, so if my cousin Cookie get hold of you, just faint, 'cause she might feel bad and let you go. Otherwise, good luck to that man. I'll say now, the Nine of Cups doesn't say addiction. This says that he was down to the casino at the table in his own world, and they must have crept up on him, pulled up on him, a gang on 'em, a few on 'em. That was him at the table, all smug, throwing dice. He probably was up too. Offset probably was up when this altercation happened. Look, this person is smug. This man was up. He probably had the 10 bands in his pocket when the fight The problem is, Offset, also, this situation started because of a pastime when you were in the casino. And the man said he loaned you money, and you had also borrowed money from some other people in the casino. So Offset, you just be in the casino and being enabled because you're a celebrity, and people like, oh yeah, a celebrity. Yeah, I'll give this celebrity money. Listen, Offset, you is lucky that it was your op and not one of them girls who be in the Hard Rock staking ninjas out at the tables. Listen, this is what the girls at the Hard Rock in Florida will do. Yes, Cookie ain't my auntie, but she kind of is because she's old enough to be. But she's my first cousin. Her mama was 13, so don't ask. But the girls, it'll be two of them. They'll work in pairs. They'll be at the casino around the tables where all the ballers at. They'll even play a little bit, but they'll be attractive. So you know what I'm saying? The dudes gonna want to talk to them, and they gonna flirt with you, chat with you up. You gonna take them home, and they gonna hit your ass up. You'll be lucky if they hit you up and they don't call somebody and set you up, because I know somebody that's happened to. And all he lost was a couple of his Rolexes, a wad of cash, and his pride, because we cracked jokes on him, but we watched it on his security camera, and they wasn't even all that cute. But down to the Hard Rock, stunting, flogging, because he was wealthy, stunting, flogging, took these two Haitian girls home. They did the do. He said that he had fun. But when he went to sleep, and they all allegedly went to sleep on the camera, you see them sneaking out the bed, going around his room, grabbing stuff. They grabbed some clothes and stuff too, because he had a bunch of designer, and walked right out. They ain't tiptoe out. They walked out. And we was like, so what you gonna do? He was like, nothing, man. It was a wild night. I was like, man, and he had insurance on the jury. So Offset, this could have really went just all kind of wrong ways, all kind of wrong ways. And you was down there by yourself, I think, boy. Listen, in Florida, tch, these people don't care nothing about you being no celebrity in Florida. They don't care nothing about that. Okay, they don't care nothing about that. This looks to be like, also, do you still owe some other people money? Because this makes me feel like, Angel, I'm only here because of you. This makes me feel like Offset might start trying to pay off some other debts that he owes due to this. So I feel like he's going to be trying to move money around, maybe get some from some people who won't shoot him if he don't pay him back. Because I think he might owe some other people, and this situation looks like he might have woken up and said, let me pay off everybody I owe. People came out to say that he does. This looks to me like he finna start hustling up some money to start paying off all his other debts before anybody else comes for him and gets any other bright ideas, and just to clear this situation. So this feels like a wake up call so far, because I think people gonna chip in to be like, listen, we know you, like people close to him. Listen, what else you got to pay off? Who else you owe? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing. Just let us know who else you owe. This sounds like Cardi B saying that too. This feels like, because the way I'm hearing it, it's almost like, listen, don't worry about nothing. Just who else you owe and how much you owe them. If but the way I feel, it feels like Cardi's energy, not just hers, probably other people close to him too. But I feel like she's one of the people that's just like, listen, it don't matter who you owe, who all you owe, and how much you owe to them. So we can help you get this cleared. I think this shook everybody up close to him because I'm starting to feel jittery and like panicked, like somebody close to him would. I think that now this is the young man kind of incriminating himself because rather Offset snitches or not about who shot him. He literally went on camera and said, the victim, the person who got shot, looked at me and said, you shot me. So if Offset had a passed away, he would have voluntarily gave Offset's last, dying declaration himself. So this is him saying, incriminating himself. Offset doesn't really have to say anything. Probably live. Probably. They probably thinking about takeoff and just saying, listen, who else do you owe? Just tell us. Don't be scared. Tell us. I think Cardi B is stepping in to save the day. I think she's shaking up, and I think she's wanting to know. I don't think this is just that man. I think this is Cardi's divine hand. I think she's shaken up. I think she's emotional, and they haven't been together. She's been minding her business, so she wouldn't know who all he owes from his gambling debts outside of this man. But I think she is the one who's going to step in and temper anybody else who might be angry at Offset. And I don't think they're gonna get back together. I don't think she should, but he should definitely put some respect on her name moving forward. If what I see here is correct, if she's stepping in and saying, I'll clear all your debts just so that you can be okay and our kids can be okay and stuff. If this is correct, Offset, don't you never play with that lady ever, ever in your Mickey Sicky life. You better always put some respect on that lady's name if this is true. You should anyways, but because I do believe she paid off your tax debt too, just so you guys can be done. Um, Listen, them Libras, us Libras, we be down. We be down, down, crazy down. Okay, stupid down. I told y'all I used to wear in my marriage. I used to wear the red flags. I've had this. I got this. I've had this since my marriage. This is one of the red flags I used to prance around the house in while my husband was out gallivanting, and I knew. But y'all, this is one of my. That's why it's so raggedy, because I've had this for over a decade since I've been married. Child, this is the biggest red flag I used to walk around the house in. Child, I'm telling y'all, and I'm a Libra too. My birthday 3 days before hers, so I get it. We will be down. All right. This is all set in the hospital, recovering, healing. I think he's in some pain. I think he's experiencing some anxiety. This makes sense. You just got shot, and the man who had something to do with it allegedly is on camera still saying Offset is this, Offset is this. He's a boom, boom, beep, beep, beep. And he said, I shot him. And so you can't even really heal in peace because your assailant, your alleged assailant, just got released from the slammer and he's all in the cameras, basically saying F Death Row, F Diddy, F Biggie, F the motherfucking, for all of the federales and even everybody who don't want to be a federale, for all of the world to see. So I said, this gives me, you guys are panicking, worried, anxious. Yes, Liv, they released him. And that's when he was being interviewed by reporters saying Offset is a snitch. He's a bitch. And he looked at me and said, I shot him. And yes, he not only got out, but did a interview saying Offset identified me as the shooter. Oh, I said, oh, you slow. You slow. That's why your name Lil TJ. That's like a oh, Lil TJ. Oh, that sounds like somebody that listen. So yeah, they have anxiety around them. And because of this man's boastfulness, they want to hurry up and clear all of the debts around there because I don't think he has peace right now, even though he's supposed to. I don't think he that's why he was outside smoking that Newport still looking stressed. And his mama was in front of him with the phone. They trying to hurry up and pull strings and juggle things to clear the air over there. And I get it. I do. I do. I think everybody shook up. Pole culture. I just thought of her. Pole culture. I can't imagine how they had to break the news to her because Cardi B has said Culture loves her daddy. And he got a other girl that's older than Culture. She probably is a daddy's girl too, because she was around him and Cardi B a lot. Oh, those poor girls. It'd be different with the girls and our daddies. Especially when we love our daddies. Oh, poor babies. Poor babies. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Y'all stop giving these babies trauma. Please. Look at the bigger picture. Please. External to Offset. Okay. So the bathroom door just closes on its own around here. That's normal. External to Offset is his family. I think they're all in shambles and everybody is pooling resources. I think everybody is trying to chip in to clear off his debts. He must have some, either he has some big debts in there or the accumulation of all of his debts, not just gambling debts, but whatever else he's got that he owes in whatever areas that people don't know about. I think everybody's trying to clear his tab. I think it accumulates to a large amount of money. Either that or everybody around him is saying, I'll chip in. Even the kids, they probably bringing up their piggy banks like, here, Paul, everybody just, I feel, hopes and fears is that whatever is left, whatever lingering debts he owes, that's in his hopes and fears. Outcome. Offset, I don't like this for you because this is just a step away from this in your challenging position. For your outcome, I don't like that for you. I was so hoping to see something else. I hope that this is just PTSD. And that's bad enough because I'm not wishing PTSD. I'm saying I'm hoping that this is all that this is trauma. Because I'm sure this has put you in the mind of takeoff and how this could have went for you. So I'm hoping this is just PTSD and not any other threats. Because that's not a good outcome to have. Let me start there. What is a Bruno Mars size debt? Not a Drake size debt. He hasn't made Drake size money to have a Drake size debt. He hasn't made Bruno Mars size money to make a Bruno, or has he? Maybe Bruno Mars, but definitely not Drake. You gotta make that kind of money to owe that kind of money. I don't know what Bruno's debts look. Bruno is debt. Ooh, see, I don't know nothing about Bruno's debt, but I'll look into that. Let me start with the Nine of Swords and the outcome because that's the most concerning to me. I got that for Kai Cenat, and I don't think he's been all right either. And I think he still has wolves around him, and I think he's stuck ever since he let them cut off his hair, and they probably took a lock home with them and put something on him that he can't shake. And ever since he let all of those industry predators, not just sexual but otherwise, get to him, the friends, the girls, the entities, the corporations, the everything, I think he's in some form of a sunken place too. Because when I read him, this was his outcome. 50 milli from the MGV. Oh shit. Who owed 50 goddamn mil? Who owes $50 million from the casino? Bruno? How do you gamble that much? That was the cocaine, allegedly. That was the cocaine, I'm telling you. It was the cocaine doing it. He probably don't even remember gambling that much. How do you owe 50 million just to gambling alone? My goodness. He better arrange a residency to pay that off. Why his stoke still some good? What is he doing? What is his agents and stuff doing? Offset, what is this Nine of Swords is your outcome? My goodness. My only addiction is weed and food and the gym. I think I have an addictive personality because addicts run in my family, but thankfully the buck stops at marijuana. And I don't see that as an addiction. I see that as medicine. It's necessary because I work with the dead. I talk to the dead. I take on you guys' problems, my problems, everybody's problems. I do woo. So wood grounds me. I mean, weed grounds me. It does. It helps me be normal. Otherwise, weed helps me be not high. Really. Nine of Swords. I don't like this. Too many swords. I feel like I said there's a threat who ain't going. There's an op who ain't going. Either way, they ain't going. They don't care anymore. It's beyond anything other than that. It's beef. And I don't like that. If it's not beef, this is just some intent to do you some harm. I think there's a threat still lingering out there for Offset, but that's my opinion. This is the beef. Now, I said I don't think it's beef. I think there's just a threat. This is the beef that I needed to see. Offset, somebody is not going, they ain't going. It don't matter what you offer. It don't matter nothing. Now, I don't know if this is somebody associated with Lil TJ or him himself or somebody else who might have gotten inspired by this, but Offset, this is somebody just got beef. It's just beef. This ain't even whatever this threat that's still lingering. Even after you clear all your other debts, there's somebody that's going to be like, I got beef, and it's critical beef. I don't like these for you. I don't like these three together at all. At all. This looks like the Migos situation here. Their group mates take off. So let me see if the spirit is this Nine of Swords just trauma and PTSD for Offset? Because I could say that that Nine of Swords is just PTSD from all of this stuff, the collective of the violence with you and your bandmate. Is this Nine of Swords only PTSD, or is there still a threat lingering for Offset? Something is unfinished. Something is unfinished. This is not a PTSD card. This is very much real. Something does not have closure. And the problem is something was not successful with this card. This is usually the card I see if somebody is going to pass away. I've said before, actually, just recently, I've said it's not the death card for me. The death card can be there, But if this is the outcome in somebody's reading, if I'm reading their health or a life or death situation, then I'm saying they're probably going to go to glory, complete their cycle here, and then rise up into the ethers. Their soul rise up back to the divine mother. But this this is the challenge. This is the outcome clarified by this beef here. I would like to say, since I was trying to clarify and ask if that's just PTSD, no. I think somebody wanted Offset to no longer be here. And the problem is, it's still unfinished. Now, I'm not saying that somebody is going to come after him again, but whatever the beef is, it's not reconciled just by popping him in the butt. Nobody just pops somebody without the intention of taking them out, not these kind of people. Because why risk going to jail for shooting somebody in the ankle? And this person, Lil TJ, was not alone. So this feels like Lil TJ's energy. I don't think, let me clarify that world in reverse. I don't like that. Somebody needs to sit Lil TJ down. This feels like this man is still holding a grudge and still looking at Offset. This is a fire sign. So Offset, I think you still have a reason to walk very, 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 very much defensively. Somebody has a grudge. This cannot just be about money. Not $10,000 is the 10 of Pentacles. It was about 10 of Pentacles. It was about 10 bands. This feels like it's went beyond that. And Offset, the problem is this man was released. So he's out to make plays. He can make whatever plays. Hopefully he doesn't put any number upon your head top. Very, very, very messy. Now my problem is this. This looks like Migos. My problem is Offset. When I read Takeoff, it's my opinion, and I've seen this as a reader many, many, many times. The last time I said this was when I read Soldier Slim's Passing. I said, and mark my words, one of the easy ways to do an industry hit is solicit the services of a rival. And the rival is usually a gang member. It's never just like a lone rival. Sometimes it is, but somebody that you have a known beef with so that it makes sense. I don't think that $10,000 is enough to do this unless it was just the way Offset positioned himself. Like, I ain't giving you nothing back, get it back in blood. Depending on the type of person you say that to, it might not matter if it was $1. If you say that to them, then they might just be like, bet. So maybe it's that. But the fact that I see the Migos here is what I don't like, because I am of the belief that that was a perfect arrangement for something to happen that might have been a decision long before that night happened for Takeoff. Let me look into this Three of Pentacles. Now, this is the Migos. This was Takeoff winning. I don't think that anybody shot Takeoff because he was winning, or was it something like that? What was it that triggered the Takeoff shooting? Was it that Quavo was winning and he got into an altercation and then Takeoff ended up getting hit? Hold on. Quavo, now listen. When I read Takeoff, I said that there was a girl there who was supposed to kind of mark Takeoff in some way. This is the Migos. This is the situation that happened with Takeoff. You got a King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and then a Queen. This Queen that night was marking somebody. And if Quavo was supposed to get hit, then he would have gotten hit and nobody else would have because he's the one who got an altercation. So it would have been easy to hit him. This King of Pentacles makes me feel like a boss or somebody that's responsible for arranging the events of a hit. This is either the person who put the um, price on said person's head, or this is the person who was paid in partnership to arrange the situation, like one of the princes. If this isn't a princess, this is their label head or a label head. Because as I stated in Takeoff's reading, that came from somewhere in their issues with their label. Not just random gambling. Nevertheless, this is here behind the outcome. So, in my opinion, Offset's concerns is that he understands the inner workings of these things, and his fear wouldn't have anything to do with 10 grand. It would have something to do with now somebody was allowed to try to hit me. I don't think Offset was supposed to make it out of this. If he hadn't have made it out, possibly little TJ might not have gotten arrested. They could have just fled the scene and nobody may have said or been able to say exactly who it was. So I don't think Offset was supposed to make it out of this. I don't think Lil TJ was, the plan was for him to get caught that night. Let me look at that 10 of Swords challenging Offset in his wheelchair. I don't think he was supposed to get out. I don't think he was supposed to leave. I'm clarifying this. And I feel like it was a setup. How did they know he was there? Who called them and told him he was there? This gives me setup. Because it's not just that he was a big celebrity and he would have drawn attention. This isn't his first time patronizing the Hard Rock. And it's never really been a thing where people talk about it. People in the casino ain't, they busy gambling. Everybody in there got an itch to scratch. So ain't nobody really, going to blogs and saying I seen, because in that world, like you can see a celebrity anywhere, and people in there is all trying to get money. So how did they know? Somebody would have told them that he was there and he was alone. They would have told them what table he was sitting at, what he had on, and again that he was alone. Bare like this baby. Who is an informant here? Another problem is this is almost like the industry can't save you, so to speak. Now, if Offset, I don't know if he's independent now or if he's still signed to a label, but if he were a bigger ticket artist, then this wouldn't be allowed without it coming from up top that you can mess with their investment. If he's independent, then I can say that this person might have tried it because they know ain't nobody up top going to be upset with them for messing with their investment. But if he's still tied or signed to anyone, then I don't like this because then it's bigger than just an informant here. It feels like the industry is done with him, so it's okay. Said, who did you talk to that night who knew that you were at the casino? And it was somebody that's industry related. So you talked to one of your industry friends, one of your industry hoes that night, and then they also told somebody else where you were. This is betrayal. So whoever you was talking to that night that knew where you were, this person knows how to put the word in to other people in the industry, like Will TJ or somebody like that. A girl. It's always a hoe. I'm telling y'all. Listen. Stay getting set up by these women. Y'all stay getting set up by these hoes. Y'all ain't learned by now? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Clearly not. Clearly not. Who's a known industry pass around? You can't remember her name. Okay, let me see. Let me look at this queen. You must be right. She's been passed around. She's an escort, an industry escort. Is it Selena? Because you owe her money too. As a matter of fact, you stole from her. This gives me industry escort. This is escort. This is a hoe. Pass around hoe. Escort. This is big escort energy. She's a celebrity pass around. She's a celebrity hoe. Check on Selena. If she knew where you was all set, then that's who put the drop in on you. But Offset, whoever, whichever one, whichever girl you talked to that night, that's the industry hoe. And she knew where you was, even if you didn't talk to her that night. If she knew you was down in Lauderdale, she knew you was gonna be at the casino, and you owe her money too. So Offset, check. Look, you owe her money too. Matter of fact, you took her money. Hit her up that night because she said you oh not the trolls coming in here trying to hide because I done found out who set Offset up. And she wouldn't have done it if she didn't think it was okay either. She said that you hit her up that night and she said something like he wanted to you thought that he wanted to sleep, so you said I'm on my cycle, on my flow, so I can't. But you said he still wanted to. Because this is you saying I can't, I'm on my cycle when he called you. But you said he still wanted to, but y'all end up with each other. And he stole your money. This is Selena Powell, allegedly. Boom. Now, Selena, Spirit, one card. Is this hoe? Is this industry hoe? No offense, because the girls that are hoes don't take offense to being called a hoe. Is this industry hoe Selena Powell? One card for a yes, one card for a no. This is him stealing from her. He stole from her. And she put the drop in. One phone call, and this is a Sagittarius card. This big Offset. Offset stole her money. Offset, Sagittarius, a thief, calling her saying, I want to link with you, but really you just wanted to get in the safe. Spirit, did Selena Powell set up Offset with Lil TJ? Look, the Magician in reverse, a plot, a setup, a con, bad juju. Look, he owed them both. This Offset, he owed a debt to both of them. And this is, um, it seems like somebody might have been watching him. So, in my opinion, she made the call. She knew where he was. I don't know if she talked to him that night, but she knew he was going to be there. She set that up. This is Offset on the bottom. I think Selena Powell set that up. Somebody send this to Cardi. Not Offset. Send it to Cardi because she'll know what to do. Magician in reverse. Look, I said, was it Selena setting him up? Look at this call. She was talking to Offset. Offset, I know you talked to Selena Powell that weekend because you probably wanted her to send you some money. So I know you called her while you was down there. An addict don't even think about the fact that they done burned a bridge. They just think about the fact that her dumb ass did it before. So this is her making phone calls on the phone with you, texting them, putting a drop on your ass. Mm, 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 mm. To TJ, somebody who she knew held a grudge. Now, Spirit, did Selena do that because Offset stole from her? Or was she the vessel used to do somebody else's dirty work? I just heard she gonna be mad at you. One of my bushwatchers gonna send this to her. I don't give no fuck about no hoe. What's a hoe to a goddess? And I say hoe with all due respect to the hoes. Shout out to the hoes. I love the hoes. I've pimped a hoe before. And I would probably do it again. Definitely. But not like